You know, I keep saying the words over and over in my head, and the more I say them, the more it kind of sinks in that it's not even midday and I've already failed at 2 puzzles and 2 videos. I tried to build an octahedron, 3x3 octahedron. I was going to do a showcase video tomorrow, but then I decided I don't want to do another showcase, I want to do a build video. And then I failed at the no epoxy mod that I was going to do, so now I have a couple hours to build a puzzle with just sandpaper. There was a time when I thought that was impossible, by the way. So for today's puzzle, I wanted to modify a 3x3 so that it was able to corner twist as easily as possible while still preserving all of the good turning quality that the original puzzle I started with had. To start off, as per usual, I disassembled the puzzle. You don't need to use a drill, but I did in this particular case. And I was going to round off all of the edges and all of the internals of the corner pieces so that there was nothing to prevent them from spinning within the puzzle. If you have a high-end speed cube like a Gans or a Volk, they have a fair amount in the mechanism that prevents the pieces from corner twisting. Even on cheap puzzles like this, there are a couple things in place that you need to get around in order to make this puzzle corner twist. So the interior section of the mechanism needs to be rounded off until it's perfectly circular, and you want to round off all the leading edges of the interior of the piece as well. And after all of that was done, I reassembled the puzzle, and that's pretty much all of the modification right there. There really isn't much else that you need to do apart from make sure that the puzzle isn't too tight when you reassemble it. Okay, so that's that done. I've rounded off all of the corners, and now I can just corner twist them very, very easily. And it actually feels really, really nice to turn as well. Like, I haven't sacrificed any of the turning quality to allow these corners to turn. So this is great and all, but all you really have to do is just buy a terrible speed cube and you can have this quality already here. So what I want to do is I want to incorporate these corner twists into the actual solve of the puzzle. So I'm going to sticker modify this in such a way that I can use these corner twists to solve the puzzle in a different state. So it's going to be like a 2-solution cube. So let's give that a try. I got out some sticker material that I had lying around, and I had the great idea that I was going to scramble this puzzle up and I was going to sticker all of the edges. Cutting the stickers for this puzzle is fairly self-explanatory, but my thinking behind this puzzle is that I wanted to have all of the pieces scattered throughout the puzzle with no real obvious solution to it. If you don't know the color scheme, you can't really use the corner pieces to figure out the color scheme because they all have different colors on them anyway. So it just makes it look really difficult, and you can see here it's scrambled up and I'm also twisting the corners, and it just looks really, really difficult to solve. So now that the puzzle was stickered up into its solved state, I solved it into its other solved state, which was just a regular old 3x3 solve that took me about a year to do. And it looked pretty daunting to solve into the original state that I had it in. I actually don't know how to approach this puzzle myself, and I'm going to go out and say it, I don't know how to solve the puzzle that I just built. So if you want to try this puzzle out for yourself, I really recommend you give this a try. It is not difficult. It's just a sandpaper only modification. You just need some sandpaper or a file to do it. But anyways, I hope you guys like this puzzle. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.